Hi everyone, we'll start in a minute. All right. All right, guys. If you're watching on any other platform and facing issues with the screen quality, you can switch to Strike YouTube channel for better quality. So first of all, I'm sorry we are doing this after a gap of 2-3 days because I was not well. Even now, I'm not perfectly fine, but yeah, we'll start it from today. I'll try to keep it short. So I'll be highlighting the most important observations first, and then we can take up few questions. So talking about the market update first, the market has fallen from the top for 3 continuous sessions, and even today we are facing the downward pressure, but not really down today, but not even up as well. So more or less upward or up down action has been there with stock specific moves being there. So only 19 of the Nifty 50 stocks are up and 218 stocks in the 500 are up today. Talking about the breadth in FNO segment, 66 stocks are showing long build-up, which is actually better than the last few days, and 97 are showing short build-up. And this is actually the after quite a few days that I'm seeing 252-week lows here in the Nifty 500. Since many days we weren't seeing any 52-week low stocks, so this is a slight change. In terms of options OI, the key levels are 19,700 for the support and 19,800 as the resistance. For the Bank Nifty, the 45,000 level seems to be a stiff resistance for now, and the highest put OI is at 44,500, followed by some OI at 44,750 and as well as 44,800. So there is the OI is divided in terms of Bank Nifty, but 44,500 is a 45,000 is a hard resistance for it. Now coming to the few important observations. If you would have focused on the swing, yesterday it dropped to 10, and even in today during today morning, if you would have opened it, you would have seen that it was around 5 or 6. Right now it is at 11, same as yesterday. So let's say by closing, if it is above 11, then it means there is a positive divergence. If the Nifty is below yesterday's closing and the swing is above, there is a small positive divergence. And even if it's not, even if it's down below 10, then also it represents an extremely oversold zone that at least sets up us for a bounce. Similarly, in average swing, it has fallen from all the way from 87 to 18 in a matter of few sessions. So below 20 average swing is also very oversold. So we can at least expect a bounce of the fall in the very short term. In terms of the put call ratio, we reached the 1.06 level that we were expecting, and from there on, exactly from there on, we have seen it moving downwards. Now it has cooled off enough. Now it is interesting to see whether or not we continue up from here or not. So we wait for that signal. In the meanwhile, stock specific action is on. So let's check diffusion as well. So on the Nifty, the still that stocks above 20-day average is not looking too bad. There was a slight small negative divergence, but it has pulled back to about 74. So if it is a normal pullback, this number is decent enough for the market to continue its journey. But if we are going to get a deeper pullback, deeper correction, then we may not see this number go much above 80 again. Now the stocks with RMI buy would look very similar to the average swing visually. It was at 90 or 92 a few sessions back. It has now come down to 28, and in the previous few sessions you can see readings of close to 20 have worked as a short-term bottom on this indicator. But that does not mean that market cannot give a bounce before it reaches 20. So yeah, it does look like at least a bounce can be expected. So let's go to the charts of Nifty and Bank Nifty and try to see that. Going to the Nifty chart first. So 3 consecutive days of hard selling with a gap down, and today also it's a red candle, but we are not yet closed for the day, so can't really comment on that. Talking about the main indicators, the RSI has pulled back from 76 to below 50, which is back out from the overbought zone. In terms of moving averages, it is right sitting at the 20-day average. So if it holds 20-day average from here on, that would be a good sign for this index. And 10-day average will now act as a resistance, which will be at 19,965. So let's look at the setup chart as well. Dow Trend had given us a reversal on 20th, followed by RMI sell signal yesterday, and today 20 DMA is at the risk of getting broken, so that is a key level to watch out for. In terms of hourly chart, we did get a bullish crossover in the morning today as well as a Dow Trend buy, but the action has been very sideways, up and down. We haven't seen any run up. So the key levels on the hourly chart on the upside would be the hourly averages, that would be 19,830 followed by 19,893, that is the 40-hour average. So whether it goes up from here to here, that remains to be seen. In terms of Bank Nifty, so it had, unlike Nifty, it had decisively broken below the 20-day average yesterday, and today it has gone up and took resistance from the 20-day average and again came down. So it's looking like a spinning top kind of a candlestick. In terms of the hourly chart, let me go to the setup first, directly hourly setup. So similar to Nifty, it had given a bullish crossover in the RMI, but the Dow Trend was bearish. So Dow Trend has still not confirmed a bullish trend on even the hourly chart. So it is still extending the downward. So the key levels on the upside would be the hourly averages, which are 45,100 followed by 45,300, and on the downside, the lower Bollinger Band for the hourly chart is at 44,370. So interesting setup. Let's see whether or not market gives us a bounce that is we are expecting by looking at the oversold sentiment or not. Specifically the momentum swing that I'm highlighting again, this number at 11, below 20 it's quite oversold, and in the morning it was even at 5 or 6. So single digits are quite oversold in the very short term. So let's see on that. In terms of positioning, one second. In terms of positioning, the FI positions reached 60,000 mark on the longs index futures and pulled back to 22,000. So they have lowered their long bets, so but they're still long to the extent of 22,565. So there is no clear overbought or oversold sentiment on the positioning front as of now. In terms of client positioning also, let's see. Same is the case here. Only interesting thing I observed yesterday was the client net index positions, which is uh, all the positions by clients, including options and futures. That number has, reached the upper end of the range, and this is actually uh, associated with the bottoms in the market. If you see uh, very high readings on this, you would see market bottoms associated with that. Let me try to draw and show. So these are some high readings which are associated with market bottoms. Even these two, it may not work immediately, but yeah, even here you can see short term bottom, and right as of yesterday we are at in that range only. So whether we bottom here or we get a small bounce is what I would think by looking at this. So this is the one interesting indicator along with the momentum swing that I am looking at in terms of judging the next few days movement of the market. If you have any particular question on these indicators or you want to use these indicators, you can simply go to web.strike.money and use it. It's all free. You can just log on and use all the indicators you want to use on this platform. Now let me go back to scanners and see whether we are getting any interesting signals today. So let me filter only new signals. So on the Dow trend, surprisingly, there are not only down to up, but not only up to down, but quite a few down to up signals as well, as you can see. So there is no all round selling going on. Few stocks are up as well. See, especially PSU banks. Banks are looking better. PSU banks are looking better, and even many other mixed stocks are also. I'm able to see here giving a Dow trend reversal on the upside. So that is interesting. So 1 second, let us check the heat map also. I think I missed. Yeah, so you can see in a market like this, PSU bank index is up 3%. All other indices are mostly flat, with the downside being concentrated at pharma and healthcare. So both pharma and healthcare are down about 1.4%. So that remains to be the weak link in today's market. Going back to the scanners, especially RMI scanner, let's see what kind of signals we are seeing. I would not expect a lot of new buy signals because we already know from the momentum swing that momentum will take time to build up. But you can look at individual signals and try to judge for yourself what you would like to do. There are very few new buy signals compared to new sell signals, and even in new sell you would have to look for each and every chart and judge whether or not it is worth taking or not. So yeah, that's a quick update on the market. So let me know if you want to look into any particular scan or any particular chart. We can take the questions. I know I'm wrapping it up early today because I'm not able to speak for longer durations. So waiting for questions. Okay, there is a question from Deepak to look at CUB. Sure. Let's begin with weekly chart. So the stock has continuously declined from the end of last year, and now it has actually To me, it looks like some kind of triangular pattern having been formed here. So it's first time it's trying to actually sustain above the 20-week average. That may be a good sign. So I'm talking about this triangular pattern. Now, whether should I draw it like this or draw it like this? That is a question. Going to the daily chart. So on the daily, RMI and Dow Trend are in bearish mode, but the good thing is it is holding above this key averages. So possibly, I think this trend line is acting. If it is a breakout retest of this trend line, let me make it bolder. So if it is retesting this trend line breakout and holding the daily averages, that is around 129.2. So 129.2 should be the level. If it holds above this levels, then it should be fine. Otherwise, we'll have to redraw this line like this and expect it to again touch the lower end, that is around 120. HDFC Bank. So this has been the weakest stock, I think, in terms of the large banks. Still no hint of reversal. So let us see a larger time frame chart if there is anything visible. So weekly chart also looks bad as it has broken down below the lower band. So yeah, it looks very weak as of now. Yeah, welcome Deepak. So Dheeraj is asking, based on this week downfall, what is your understanding about September series expiry? So as I said, yeah, this fall looks very strong. So even if we are going for a deeper correction, I do expect some kind of bounce or consolidation solely based on few sentiment indicators that I showed that were oversold on the momentum swing that we track, as well as this client net index position. So these are the few indicators that are showing us that we may get a bounce at least, if not further continuation in the ride. So we cannot know in advance what will happen, but yeah, at the current levels, if it shows some kind of bullish momentum, let's say you can, if you look at even the smallest time frame, let's say hourly. So if you say some kind of momentum building upon hourly with a bullish candlestick pattern or a bullish signal from an indicator, then that is something that would hint at a bounce playing out. There's a question from Vishal on Biocon and Power Grid. Biocon, I would suspect, would be weak in line with the pharma index. Let's see. On the weekly chart, there is actually a negative divergence, but it is still above the weekly averages. So let's go to daily chart. On the daily chart as well, it has given a bearish crossover as well as Dow Trend reversal yesterday. You can see here on the left, and today it is breaking the 20-day average. So these two key levels are what I would watch out for. If it is not able to hold above 266.5 as well as 263.5, that is when we would expect more downside to, you can say, till about a trend line of this lows. So actually, if I try to connect these two lows, that trend line can also act as a support. Let me make it bolder. So if these key levels are able to hold, then it would be fine. Otherwise, it can show more downside. Another one was what? Power grid. Okay. So daily chart looks fine. The RMI is in buy, Dow Trend is bullish, averages are holding. So it is kind of a upward trending chart, goes up, pulls back, goes up, pulls back. So that way it looks fine. Weekly also it has given a bullish crossover. So yeah, this particular chart can be looked at in terms of a combination of daily, hourly chart, and try to be traded with cycles. Any other questions? All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll connect again on Monday, I think, if today's Friday. Yeah. So we'll be connecting on Monday now, same time. Thank you.